Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. I was taught my modes, the modes of the major scale, in a really specific way. We'll talk about it in a second. We'll also talk about a better way. Did you learn your modes the way I was taught them? A major scale, and then each step of the scale being one of the modes. Here's a C major scale. And then C on the top. And we learned the major scale is built of whole and half steps, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Or maybe if your teacher was a little progressive, you might have learned the tetrachord, whole, whole, half, and then the second tetrachord, whole, whole, half, and then the two together, joined by a whole step. I always tell my students it's like the beginning of the Addams Family. That's a tetrachord. And then we're taught the modes. So what I was taught was that each step of that major scale will give me a new scale that has a slightly different whole and half step construction. And so I was taught the second step of the scale, the D Dorian scale. I was taught the third step of the scale, the Phrygian scale, and then so on and so forth. The fourth step of the scale, we call it the Lydian. The fifth step of the scale, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. We call it the Mixolydian scale. And etc., the Aeolian on the sixth. Different whole and half step constructions for each. The Locrian scale on the seventh step. Well, there's a better way to think of it than kind of going, oh, I need to go to the first step of the scale, the second step of the scale. I like to think of a single note as being the center, and then think, what do I have to do to each step of that scale to turn it into the mode that I'm looking for? And I'll show you what I mean. Let's just go up using C as our center note. Why not? We could pick any note, but let's use C. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. Now look at the Dorian mode compared to it. When you compare the two side by side, I think it's fairly easy to see. Let's move them over so that they're very close to each other. It's real easy to see where the differences lie. The third step of the scale has been lowered. The seventh step of the scale has been lowered. Let's go on. We'll go to the Phrygian mode. C is the third step of the A-flat major scale. Here we go. Let's slip this over and compare. Second step is low. Third step is low. Fourth is normal. Fifth is normal. Sixth is low. Seventh is low. Let's go on. The Lydian mode has a raised fourth degree. C is the fourth degree of G major. It's a G major scale from C to C. C, D, E, F sharp. G, A, B, C. Lydian mode, raised fourth degree. The Mixolydian mode has a flat seventh. It usually lives on the fifth step of a scale. C is the fifth step of the F major scale. What's it going to look like? Here we go. And again, very easy to see how it differed from the original C major scale, all white keys. Now the B is flat. In other words, the seventh degree is lowered. Let's go on. The Aeolian mode, the natural minor, is on the sixth step of a major scale. C is the sixth step of E flat major. Of course, it's a minor mode. You see the flat third degree, flat sixth, flat seventh. Looking at this, you can sort of get a kick out of comparing the respective modes. For instance, the natural minor shares a lot of notes with the Dorian minor. The natural minor shares a lot of notes with the Phrygian minor too. Well, let's go on. There's one left, the Locrian mode. C is the seventh step of D flat major. C, D flat, E flat. The F is natural. G flat, A flat, B flat, C. The F and the C stay the same. If you learn your modes first by where they live on the major scale, and then analyze each of these modes thinking in terms of a central pitch instead of trying to sort of always think of them as being steps of the C major scale or some major scale, you'll find they'll become useful for you in your compositions. One of the things we love to do is modal interchange. And having a central pitch is an important concept. For instance, modally interchanging a melody between the Ionian mode, the major mode, and the Phrygian mode, the unusual third degree mode, would mean I would be going from a scale set that was a C major scale set to an A flat major scale set. Let's try Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And now I'm going to modally modulate to the Phrygian mode. It's the notes from the A flat major scale. Oh, I love it. Learn your modes in reference to a single central pitch instead of spreading them out across the major scale. I think it's a better way to integrate the modes into your composing and playing. We have to talk more about this probably, but that's kind of enough for now. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell and you'll be notified when I do my next video. I'll see you next time.